Yeah, let's just jump in. What I want to do, and just so if you're good with this, just remember this is recorded. So we may upload this to the members area if you're okay with that. So
Yeah, sure, that'd be fine.
yeah, and if there's anything personal you don't want to upload it, we can always do it one-on-one afterwards. So, but I want to be able to make sure these trainings reach everybody because that's what we do, help people get more clients and more profit. So
yes.
Tell me, okay, so I know we got some good news with getting the ghostwriting client. That is really good news. I'm excited about that. When we look at what we can do for others in the realm of a coach, sometimes we forget it's not just sitting face-to-face with someone. It's not just sitting on the phone with someone. It is really anything in the realm of their life or business that we can help them with that they have a need for. So
that's right.
Let me ask you, if I was sitting there before you though, and you said, okay, Wayne, here's my coaching business, here's my, the other business we talked about, we can talk about that today, whatever. But where would you say you needed some guidance, some help, a jump start today?
Maybe, and I don't know.
If you had to say, only if you had to say.
I guess in getting those that are really committed, it seems, and I know like attracts like, it seems that people know me more through ministry than they do through business. And so they all come to me wanting the free side of the ministry versus the paying side of the business.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I'm still doing both. You know, I don't mind ministering with people, but ministry work is free. And, you know,
sure.
I want to make some money.
I do it every day.
So,
yeah, that has been my challenge for a long time. And so I can definitely help you with that. And people that are listening to this call today, some of them may not know what that's like. They'll be like, well, I'm not in ministry. But for those who are, or for those who's not even in ministry, but those who have helped people.
right.
You know, I have a lot of friends and family that come to me. They want help. And I'm glad I can, but there comes a time when the help has to be getting paid.
Right. Well, you know, the things that we truly value, and this is something that I've learned as I've learned to recognize the value in myself, the things that we truly value come with a cost. I mean, they just do. You know, when we, even a dinner date with your spouse, it comes with a cost.
Absolutely.
Because you can, you know, if you can either just run through McDonald's and, you know, but you're still going to pay something, or you can go to the upper end restaurants and pay more. But either way, that time away from the kids and the family and the friends and, you know, just the connection for you two comes with a cost. We're going to invest in what we place value in.
Okay. So I want you're exactly right. And so the key for this phone call is how do we get people that are committed, number one, to pay, and number two, that how do we separate? And I'm going to share with you a couple of things. Number one, back to the beginning of the phone call, you said, I don't know. And I said, if you had to say 5 powerful words for coaches, 5 powerful words for sales of any kind, because when you ask someone a question and they don't have an answer, I mean, they're struggling, you can just simply, what you had to say. And I said very matter of fact, very light, very easy. If you could see my body language, it would be like, no, if you had to say. And I said it 2 or 3 times with you. I've never in over 20 years of sales said it and nobody never responded. They always, it might have to say it 4 or 5 times to get uneasy, almost awkward feeling, but then they go, okay. And they overcome it because what if you had to say? And so I want to just throw those 5 words, because when you're talking with someone, even in a coaching or ministerial background, and they go, I don't know what's wrong, I don't know, they do. They don't know how to verbalize. They don't know how to verbalize what's wrong. If somebody wants something from you, I don't know what I want in my business. I don't know what I want my business to look like. Well, if you had to say, and it's just 5 powerful words. Now, so when you offer a solution, and what I mean by that, you offer a solution such as your coaching, your consultancy services, book writing services, whatever it may be, to distinguish, you made a good point there. Most people know you from the ministerial side. So 2 options. A, you have to slowly reframe or retrain those people that you're also a professional and that you get paid for it, which is the most difficult, but it can be done. Or B, you have to find new people.
Okay.
And the beauty of finding new people, and this is going to be really important, they don't know you. They can learn you by who you are. Does that make sense? The first time, by who you tell them you are. The first time I heard of Tony Robbins was on an infomercial. An infomercial back in the probably late 80s. Here's this, tall, big-toothed guy that said he could solve problems overnight, and all of these people said he could, and I want to check them out. And now here we are 20-plus years later, I'm at one of the seminars, and I'm learning from him. But what about his high school best friend that knew him as Tony? What about his high school girlfriends if he had them? I don't know. I mean, they just knew him as Tony. They didn't seem to just, they saw him different. Right. There's no way that his high school friend would have said, here, Tony, here's $5,000. Let me hang out with you for 5 days.
Right.
A prophet is without honor in his own land. So when I minister at locally, it's received in one level. If I go out of state, oh, wow. They receive it better. So what we're going to look at with you, what we're going to help you do, number one, is you start to retrain people that already know you. So let's work on that first. The way you do that, you're really good at posting articles and you're posting images. Very powerful. But they still see that as, I know, Regina. Oh, that's a neat little quote she said. What you want to start doing is posting more, continue what you're doing, but post a paragraph or 2. You already know how to write. So, and you want to really start framing it such as, I just got off the phone with my trainer, my life coach trainer, Wayne Sutton, and we discussed some really important concepts. Or when you finish with a client, paying or non-paying. This is how you turn your non-paying clients into cash flow. When you finish with a client, and maybe it's free, you give them free advice, you're helping them, you want to follow back up with, I just got off the phone, or I just had a meeting with one of my clients. And we discussed, and of course don't get into personal details, but discuss what you can discuss. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So now when people start seeing it, oh, one of her clients, oh, one of her clients, oh, one of her clients. Over a while, the people that see you, that know you, that see your Facebook post the best is really going to start associating you with a client base. And people know clients pay. I've never gone and been a client of any doctor, any chiropractor, or anyone else and expected it for free. They're there, and I knew that. So that's one way to start getting your existing people to know. Another way is to not put your prices out there, because people would judge you, especially ones that know you, on your price. But to say, I'm offering $300 off of our ABC coaching program in the next 48 hours. Now, here's the beauty. You might not get a single person to ask you, what's your ABC coaching program? But, I'm offering $2,000 off of my ghostwriting services. Have you ever wanted a book written, blah, 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 blah? And you mention the discount. You don't mention the sales price. By mentioning the discount, they have to vaguely make up a number. And then if somebody comes to you, give them the discount. You've got a paying client. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's one way to begin to retrain the people that already know you. Now, what about the people that don't? The people that don't, the same ad works. I'm giving $300 off my ABC coaching program, or I'm giving $2,000 off my book writing, ghostwriting service for books of 20,000 words or more, or whatever. And you start framing, I'm a professional and I get paid. And that's really all you have to do to attract new clients is start letting them know I'm a paid professional. And then those that continue to kind of draw from you, that you feel like, now let me just say, if they can't afford you or they're not willing to pay you. So a lot of times people say, well, I just can't afford a coach. But they can afford the latest iPhone, they can afford,
right.
Whatever. So when someone tells me they can't afford it, or they're not really looking, there's some I do for free. There's some I do. There are friends and ministry associates. What I do is I have to limit that time. And I may even say, okay, I'll use a made-up name totally, Susan. Okay, Susan, look, I want to help you, Susan. Why don't we do this? Let's schedule 30 minutes, and let's talk because you got a time that's scheduled. You begin that 30 minutes when you meet that time. You don't do it 30 minutes right then. You never call a doctor and they go, yeah, come on in, unless it's life or death and emergency. So you schedule a time, even if it's an hour from now. If you're free right now with nothing to do, you still schedule it an hour from now.
Okay.
So it shows professionalism. Number two, when you're on the phone, say, okay, Susan, I really look forward to really diving in and helping you, and let's work together and create the change you're looking for. Now, we've got about 28 minutes in this session left. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's get things done. I have other engagements afterwards. Now, other engagement could be a client, other engagement could be your personal life, whatever. I have other engagements. So let's jump into your what the reason we're talking today, and then you go into your coaching session. So by doing that, they are, again, getting trained. I don't just call Regina anytime I need something. She's busy. I need to set an appointment. So, and then at the end of 30 minutes, you could even say, okay, this was really helpful. If you need anything else, you may want to consider one of our coaching packages, which is another reason I like packages. A package could be 6 phone calls and, unlimited emails, or 10 phone calls and 1 face-to-face, whatever your package is. You may want to consider one of our packages and listen, Susan, we've been friends a long time. Or listen, Susan, we're family. I'm willing to drastically cut my rate. I can't do it for free because this is how I pay. This is how I, support my family. So I'm willing to drastically reduce it. And if they say no to that, then you never probably will be, dealing with them again as far as coaching.
Right.
Does that make sense? You're kind of nicely fishing them. You're here. I love you, but I have to take care of my family too.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's one thing to work on as far as getting committed clients. And another way of getting committed clients is, and we talked about this in the course, giving homework, giving them something to do after you talk to them. My friend Ron Batchelor said, you never leave a meeting without scheduling the next meeting. And I've done it. I've done it so many times in ministry where I went and ministered, and they were like, wow, Wayne, that was awesome. We need to have you back to minister again. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I failed to bring out my calendar, and they failed to bring out their calendar. And so it's we need to, and instead of a booked appointment. So if you can book people on the appointment, okay, this was great, Susan. Would you? I believe I'm gonna give you some homework. I'd like to talk again in 2 weeks. Does that sound good to you? Are you ready to schedule another session for 2 weeks from now? Great. Then how does the 14th at 4 o'clock sound? Okay, if you'll put it on your calendar now, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my calendar, and we can go ahead and take care of payment now, or we can do it, the day of service or whatever, So that's another way you build consistency. But number one, just start mentioning, not every post, but just start mentioning in your post that you're giving and I'm not a big fan of discounts, and then we talk about that in the course too, but you may want to use it in the beginning to get clients, and you may want to use it in the beginning to show yourself as one that gets paid to help people.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
And it's a process. I mean, I've been doing this so many years now, but just the other day I said $597 worth of coaching free for me when you take this offer. And I've had multiple phone calls, and I've had people take the offer and that saw me, but they never, one said, Wayne, I've followed you for months and months, but when I saw this offer, I knew I needed to do it. And so sometimes it's just seeing a different offer.
Right. That's
I've been wanting I've been wanting the new iPhone for a long time, but I don't take time to go buy an iPhone. Mine works.
Right.
But if I see the right one at the right price, then with an offer, if there's an offer attached to it, then I would go for it. It's just sometimes changing offer. And nobody expects to get an iPhone for free, because they know it brings value. So you got to make sure you bring value.
Well, that is so familiar to how I came into IACCC, because I had followed you for a long time. I received your emails. I watched your videos, and I knew there was a connection. There was that connectedness. And so when I got ready to take that step, to make that commitment in getting that accreditation, at that time, you offered the free coaching book. I can't remember what it is, but I still have it. But I downloaded that book, and from that book, I scheduled a strategy session from you, and here we are now.
Exactly, and that's the key. So people go to, in fact, anybody listening that hasn't got it, lifecoachlifestyle.com. So at lifecoachlifestyle.com, you get the book, and from the book, you get the strategy call. And from the strategy call, we decide if we can work together, and it's really that simple. So
it really is, and I've just got to say to those listening that maybe don't have the book yet, get the book. I devoured it. It was just on spot. It was exactly what I needed to help solidify the decision that this was the direction I needed to take in my life.
Let's talk about the book. The book is something that was written. It's a simple PDF download. We email it to people. That's stage one. Stage two is they get on a phone call, and then we decide if we want to work with them. I offer them I'll tell you, and this may sound contrary to marketing, but I do not offer every person I get on the phone with our coaching course. A lot of them I say, go back and read the book, enjoy it, because I know it's not for them. Well, I choose not to work with them. That's just being real. So, but when you take that book for me, it's a book. For the next person, it could be a audio giveaway. It could be you could be doing a free workshop. So the second way we want to talk about today of getting you clients is having something that you can give away as well. You've got a great website. I love. You must have a great web developer.
I think I do, and I'm so thankful for him too.
Well, I'm glad we were able to get the website done. But you, though, the website's nothing without marketing and doing blog updates. You're doing the blog updates. You're marketing. But here's what I'd recommend. What is something that sets yourself apart, too, so that people that know you go, oh, wow, Regina wrote a book, or Regina's got this, this free report. And I would even say this. I give away that ebook, like 90 pages, but the best converting as far as bringing clients in isn't that, because some people are just too lazy to read 90-page books. They don't want to.
Right.
So you want something even smaller. 3 tips to absolutely transform your life in the next 90 days, or the 7 prayers I pray that have brought, and so whatever it may be, something that you can give away that's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pages that you can put in a PDF and give away. Because now, not only have you given me a reason to contact you, you've also elevated your status in my eyes. You've got something. You've got a booklet. You've got a book. You've got something. You're no longer just somebody else on Facebook that posted a positive message. You're now an expert at some level.
Yes.
And see, too many people get scared of the word expert. They're like, well, I'm not an expert. Let me tell you, the man who mows my lawn, and him and his son, they mow my lawn, they do that, they do a wonderful job. He's one of my neighbors. He's more of an expert than me because I could never do it the way he does it. So,
right.
Is he the premier landscaping company? No, it's just something he does on the side for his son. But the point is, that's still more of an expert than I am.
That's right.
In that arena. So you want to be an expert in one arena. One of the things you do is write books. So you may even would say, hey, have you ever wanted to have your book written? How many years have you talked about and thought about writing a book? ? Let us help you have it done in the next 90 days. And you either help them with the outline or you do the whole thing for them. And some people would say, wow, and you let them know, I'm Regina Sanders. Here's the books I've written. Here's what I'm working on currently. I'm a certified life coach. And you begin to position yourself as an expert in that arena. And I'm offering my services at a 30% discount until the end of May. Now you've also positioned yourself as I offer my services and I get paid for my services.
Right.
2 very important keys. And now you've also got a reason for Susan, Susan at email.com to give you her email. Now you can begin to nurture her. You can begin to say, Susan, here's how did you like the 7-page report? How does that work for your business? And you're able to do it through automation, through email, but you're also able to do it one-on-one. Susan, here's my phone number. And I'm not going to give your phone number out here, but I'll give mine. Hey, my name's Wayne Sutton. My number's 910-233-2511. If you got questions about blank, then give me a call. For instance, I started doing that on my videos. If you got a question about life coach or becoming a certified coach and earning 6 figures a year as a coach, give me a call, 910-233-2511. So you're able to connect with people, real people, not fake gurus, but real experts. That's what you want to be.
Yes. Yes.
So does that help you with the how do I distinguish myself and get more committed people?
Yes, I think it does. And, it's everything you said is stuff that is already within me. It's stuff that I know. But hearing you say it activates it. It activates it for me. it starts my wheels turning and, and going, yeah, I can do this like this. And it starts that framing of things. And, one of the things I learned several years ago about myself, there was a time in my life when I didn't have a very well-framed life. I didn't always have necessary boundaries in place, and it almost killed me. So, I mean, literally, it almost killed me. So learning how to put those boundaries in place and to frame even my life at a personal level before I entered into a business has given me so much more life. And so when the words that you use, like frame, they really connect with me because, that's how I learned it when I was learning how to put those boundaries in place in personal life. And so it definitely carries over into both our spiritual lives and our business lives.
And one thing you said, you didn't tell me your story, and we'll save that for another time, but you said there was a time when and let me tell you what you did. I suddenly, instead of the trainer on this call, became the curious student. And because your story, and I know part of your story, part of it I don't, but what you want to let people know is your backstory. Not everybody, not immediately, but it can be an integral part of helping people that have been there too. Because if people see Wayne Sutton and go, oh, he's a coach, he trains coaches, he's got multiple businesses, then all of a sudden that's Wayne. When they realize that I used to go to my single-wide mobile home and I would hide my car so the bank couldn't repo it. And I'd go in and there was no power. There was no electricity. And my sister had to pay my light bill so I could have, that. When they realized I'd go to my aunt's to eat because I really didn't have the money for groceries. Then if they knew that and the story of how I progressed, then suddenly they go, wow, if he did it, I can do it too. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And
it's very true. It's a very true story. That's what you also have got to start tell your backstory, bridge it over to where you are now, and not even where you are now, but even where you're going and how you're taking people with you.
Mhm. Yes, that makes absolute sense. It does, and it's solidified with the word because Revelation 12:11 says we overcome him being the adversary, the one that comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of our testimony. So it's it's putting, and a lot of people think a testimony is I got saved 50 years ago and and I'm going to heaven, but you have 365 days in a year, so you have 365 chapters of a book of your life.
And every testimony also is for the person that maybe is fighting a disease and doesn't know that there's a breakthrough. Your testimony may give them the courage, the energy. For a person that is a business owner, that a person that's been wanting to write a book for 15 years. I tell you, I had coached thousands of people, and I hear it all the time, I'm going to write a book one day. And most people never write the book. But when you go to them and go, really? You're going to write a book one day? Great. Let me tell you my story. Let me tell you what made me write the book. And you start giving them that emotional testimony. Either A, they're going to pick up the pen or they're going to hop on the keyboard and they're going to write their book, or B, they're going to hire you to do it for them or to help them do it. So you're an overcomer by the testimony more than just your eternal life. It is now. It's the now life. So, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a quick assignment. I believe in assignments. And this one will be easy. I want you to think of a giveaway. Now, in the internet marketing world, it's a lead magnet. How do you attract customers with a magnet? How you do a lead magnet? But it's a giveaway, and it could be a 30-minute video that's going to teach them something. It can be a 3, 5, 7-page report. It could be your book you've already written. But whatever it is, it needs to be related to their big problem that you're going to bring the solution to.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that later more. But, for instance, how to become a six-figure life coach and get certified in just 9 weeks. Okay? The big problem is they're not making 6 figures, or they don't like their career or whatever. Here's the solution. Here's the time, 9 weeks. How do you get it? Go to lifecoachlifestyle.com. You've got to have that. And when you have something like that, let's just work on that. Next week we'll talk. I may actually get you back on like a Zoom with AJ and maybe a couple other people, and we'll all start working on this together. But
okay.
But for today, start working on that. Also, start thinking, if you're going to type out something, how can you begin to distinguish yourself as one that gets paid to help people, which is what a coach does. And by offering discounts, or by saying, my client, I just had one of my, you don't have to say my paying client. People assume a client means payment. But just start peppering in those words. I was going to give you another, I think that's enough for this week. You do those two, and we'll talk again in a few days. That sound good?
That sounds great.
Are you ready to make 2018 the best year ever? Get my new book, Life Coach You, How to Discover a Life Coach Lifestyle. A Life Coach Lifestyle. We'll send the book to you through your email, absolutely free. Download it, read it, discover the secrets of six-figure life coaches and how it can change your life in 2018. Grab the book, lifecoachlifestyle.com. God bless.